Hi, my name is Joseph Downey, and I will be presenting the physical education portion of the special areas. I will also be presenting the role of the literacy coach in the classroom, which was collaboratively put together by our group. Stephanie made a note earlier in the presentation that special areas are usually overlooked as content areas that promote literacy. When thinking of physical education, it is easy to assume that students are only asked to meet physical demands. Physical education focuses on literacy demands as well. Physical education focuses on four main areas of literacy: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. All physical education teachers are required to be teachers of literacy. On this slide are texts that are commonly used in the physical education classroom. After reading Embracing Literacy in the Physical Education Classroom, it was noted that playing games, listening to rules, and completing tasks help to build listening skills. Students are also able to communicate with each other and think critically while developing problem-solving skills. An example of a game which helped a struggling reader with sight words was a food group relay. Students were required to work as a team, race to a basket, and identify a food, and place it in the correct food group. This required the students to read, communicate with each other, and organize information quickly. This is just one of the many ways that students can actively learn in a physical education classroom. This next slide is dedicated to the types of texts that can be integrated into the physical education classroom. When selecting these texts, I thought about how a text may be used across the curriculum, especially in a language arts class. The first text, Let Me Play, could be a part of a reading or history unit. Students would be able to pair this with what they're learning in class and then read this in physical education. The Yoga for Teens text could be used as an instructional manual. The teacher could assess students' listening comprehension by reading the directions to students during yoga. The Chicken Soup for Sports Fan Soul is a collection of short stories which can be paired with a sport or game the class is learning about. And the Sports Illustrated magazine is a great resource with up-to-date information about sports and health for adolescents. The new literacy slide is going to cover many new literacies that can be implemented into a physical education or health classroom. This is also one of my favorite slides to put together. To begin, the Nintendo Wii is really big in the classroom. With the influx of video games now requiring physical movement to play, why not introduce them into the curriculum? Students are able to use movement to select options in video games. They are also able to click things using a movement-controlled wand. Adventure to Fitness is a series of interactive exercise videos. Every episode provides 30 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise. As Elizabeth noted earlier, students are required to participate in at least 250 minutes of physical activity per week. There are also many apps that students can access and educators can use to promote literacy. Classroom Fitness from CFIT X-Train was created by teachers, and it engages children with lively graphics and original music. Children learn the proper technique of classic exercises, moves like push-ups and jumping jacks, and many more. Vocabulary words are written on screen to help children learn new words. This would be great for an activity, especially if the teacher in phys ed class uses a word wall. Students can use this as an interactive way to promote their learning of new vocabulary terms. Using QR codes in a physical education classroom, I think, would be very effective. What a QR code is a small barcode that can be scanned with a smartphone or another QR reading device, and information is then presented, such as interactive physical education QR skill posters, which as soon as they're scanned, students are able to read directions and see how to perform a certain exercise. QR codes could also be used in a carousel activity where there's different QR codes around the classroom. Each student group could go to a QR code, scan, and follow the prompt, or do what it asks the student to do. The final portion of our presentation focuses on literacy coaches in special areas. As a literacy coach, it is our job to help design effective lessons with teachers, especially in these special areas of music, art, gym, and health. Our goal is to promote literacy practices across content areas, while also motivating teachers to continue using the practices that they are finding to be effective. Some of the ways the literacy coach can interact with the classroom teacher is advising and assisting them in assessing their students' needs and appropriate teaching strategies. As a literacy coach, it is important that we are also working as a team with our teachers. We want to build a good relationship so that they feel comfortable co-planning lessons. And again, we want to focus on what their needs are and try to provide as much information and resources as possible. Overall, I think a literacy coach can play a very significant role and impact how the teachers teach literacy through the special content areas. I hope this section of our presentation gave you some insight on new literacies and how literacy is being implemented in the physical education classroom, and how a literacy coach is able to assist the teacher in building their background of literacy and providing them with resources. Thank you.